Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I was just sitting here today thinking about I need to film something, and this immediately popped into my head. This is kind of, I don't know. I've already tried to film this once and it just, I don't know. So here I am again trying to do attempt 2. But I wanted to do this kind of story time video for you guys today because this actually just recently happened to me. And I don't know, I think it was just an eye-opening experience for me, honestly, and I don't know, in a way something that I needed to experience to really, I don't know, just understand that things like this can happen. So you guys know me. If you guys know me, I don't know if you guys know me, but you guys should. I'm a really big outdoorsy person. People look at me and like, oh, blonde hair, but they just don't know I'm like down and dirty, like outdoorsy. I love to be outdoors. I'm an avid mountain biker. I mean, every weekend, all day, every day on the weekends, and an avid hiker. You know, I'll do my 16-mile hikes and everything and whatnot. I'm just always outside. There's just so many amazing things in California to do and hike and go to and all that fun stuff. And there's a hike, it's called, well, I'll just tell you because I mean, this story would be so boring if you didn't know what I was actually hiking to. There's this bridge, it's the largest freestanding trestle bridge in the world, and it's called Goat Canyon Trestle. And it is located out in the desert. And this has been a hike that I've been wanting to do, I mean, probably for 2 years now. And there's just, you know, I just got that little voice in my head that said, Morgan, don't try to do this by yourself. And thank God I didn't. But I have been wanting to do this trail for so long. And this is honestly, I've done everything imaginable, guys, near LA and just Southern California. I've done it all. If you guys have any crazy suggestions about abandoned places and cool places I should go, leave it down in the comments below, because I'm literally out of places. I've hit up every single place, guys. It's really bad now. So now I'm like, what am I gonna do now? I need to, you know, trek north. But, so this place is one of the last places on my list that I really just wanted to go to, and I finally got a group of friends to go with me. All of them, which are avid hikers, I guess, minus like maybe 2 of them, 1 of them. And the rest of us, you know, we're avid hikers, we're, you know, those outdoorsy people. And so one of my friends, I mean, I'll just go ahead and say it now, like, so tremendously proud of her. I think it's amazing, her mental strength she had to do this, because she was not in any kind of shape to do this, but she did it anyways, not really fully knowing, even though I tried to warn her, but she's like, no, I got this. But just, I mean, that's awesome. But just so you guys have that background on her. Anyways, so we end up going out to Goat Canyon, and we're coming all the way from LA. We make the drive out there. The road in is long and rugged, and it's not something you can do with a regular car. You have to have an SUV, obviously. I mean, it's just really rough and rugged to get back there. And there's a bunch of different ways to get to the trestle bridge, and for whatever reason, I thought we did it the legal way, guys. There's the illegal way, following the railroads, which would be a walk in the park. Let me tell you how much of a walk in the park that would be. It's about a 16-mile hike. Walk in the park, like I said, walk in the park. But I was like, you know, I don't think everyone else is going to be up for a 16-mile hike. I just feel like that number is going to be like, eh. For them, we should have done a 16-mile hike. But there was a shorter way, which is 9 miles, and so like, let's do the 9 miles, guys, through the boulders. So I don't know if you guys are not familiar, haven't been to California. When you get towards the desert, you will sometimes come upon these mountains, but these mountains are made up of these huge boulders, and there's just the boulders that make up the mountain, and that's just what you see, and they're just massive. And so that's the kind of terrain we're dealing with here. That and a bunch of cactuses just everywhere. So just so you kind of have a picture in your head. If not, you should Google. We're talking about some really rough, rugged terrain, not easy terrain. This trail, the funny thing is, there is no trail. So you're having to have a GPS in order to get you there. And so I've had all the time in the world to research this. I was, you know, thoroughly prepared, told everyone to bring a camelback, that you're gonna need that, you need food, so on and so on, sunscreen, I mean, just everything. You're out in the desert. And this was one of the last months. I mean, honestly, April is the very last month you would want to try to attempt this hike, because during the summer, that's just, you're trying to write a death sentence to yourself pretty much if you try to attempt this. It's just, no one does it, because that's just, you're trying to kill you. It's like, that's suicide out in the desert. And so, I mean, out there it gets up to like 117 degrees, so that's just not something you're willing to play with. So I was like, if I don't do it this month, I mean, I have to do it this month, because this is it. And the temperatures were like, you know, high 80s. So I'm like, that's doable, you know, that's doable. So we get out there. I mean, I feel like I'm really well prepared. I had 3 liters of water, you know, of course, all my snacks and everything like that. I'm just, you know, I felt really prepared for this. And, you know, we're faced with all these things. You have the jumping cactuses, which you brush by this cactus and it shoots out these needles, and the needle has a microscopic barb on the end of it. And so when you want to pull it out, it's pulling your skin with it. And so right away my friend gets into that, and it's just not a great thing, and that just continues to be a whole trend for the rest of the trip. But just the whole hike-in was just up and down. It's not even a hike, it's like you're climbing the whole time, and it's something, all right. But you know, fast forwarding to where all this happens, actually, you know, we're going through this, and it's a very slow rate. And I've read everything that I've read on this. You know how you do your research, and there's some people that they'll say like, oh yeah, this is easy, or you know, this is hard, blah blah blah. You just have a mixture. There's no mixture on this. Everything that I read, it was just all everything people were saying was how hard this was. There was no in between. There was no it's easy. It was just how hard it was. This particular trail we were doing. And people, you know, people were leaving reviews just like, just really know what you're getting yourself into, so on and so on. And that's what I would say, obviously, to anyone watching this. If you've heard of this and if you're wanting to do this, really, really, really make sure you do your research thoroughly on this before you do anything like this. Make sure you are so prepared. Make sure you do not go during the summer. And first and foremost, you have a buttload of water, because you're going to have to use that. And so I guess we're about halfway there. We've actually come across these people, and they're on their way back, and we stopped and, you know, chatted with them for a second. And one of the women, she was like, just a note, you guys, like, make sure, like, start conserving your water right now. Do not drink it up, because you will need it to get back. And we're like, okay, cool. And that's just something that I guess I should have said it aloud to the group, because that's what I was doing all along. I wasn't chugging my water or anything like that, because, you know, I'm the one, I guess, that really thoroughly researched this, and I tried to, you know, fill in everyone on as much as they needed to know about this trip, and I sent them links and everything like that, just so they could have a general idea. But I guess I left that part out. So I still had a pretty good amount of water, and I took note, and I was like, no problem, like, I'll just stop drinking right now to get there. And so we're coming across a saddle, and we're starting to descend more into the canyon, just jumping down these boulders, trying to get down, climbing over them. My knees, guys, that night, like, my knees were just swollen, because just, I have terrible knees, and just the impact of jumping was just beyond tiring. And not to mention, guys, I am in great physical condition. Mountain biking puts your stamina on new levels. I mean, it really does. This was, you know, a struggle on the way back. On the way in, I was like, I made the comment to one of my friends. I was like, you know, this is pretty easy. This isn't bad. And no, because it might seem okay on the way in, but boy, let me tell you, it's on the way out that gets you. It is on that coming back that will get you. And so at that point, I didn't realize that my friends were already running out of water. I didn't know this. I had one friend that only brought a liter of water, and I'm just like, if I had known this, I probably, I don't even know, I would have been like, all right, because I had a whole case of water in the back of my car. I don't even know. I would have told him, like, dude, no, we gotta get used to, like, this whole case of water, like, no. But I didn't know that. So yeah, I didn't know at the time my friends didn't have much water left, and so we're getting down there. We finally get to the dried up waterfall, and the infamous dried up waterfall. This dried up waterfall, you cannot get down it without rope, and it's just known to everyone that, you know, it's just a known fact. Everywhere you look, if you do research for this particular route, there's a way to go around it, but it's very, very risky. And you also have to think about this too. You're out there. We don't have cell service. It's not a trail. There's no ranger. I mean, there's no one out there. You're out in the middle of the desert. There's just no one out there. And when you have this desert heat put on top of any kind of hike, it immediately escalates. This was only a 9 point something mile hike. That's nothing. If it was any other place with trees and everything, that's nothing. But you put that in the desert and it just kicks that up a whole other notch on top of climbing, not hiking. And you're just exerting so much energy, and it's just a whole other thing. And so when I get fixed and wanting to do something, I get tunnel vision, and I just have to do what I came for when it comes to, you know, physical things and just hikes and anything to that nature. I have to go through with it. I have to finish it. And so I was very much so getting that tunnel vision. Like, I tried to go down the waterfall, like started sliding. I was like, okay, no, abort. This is not gonna work. And I was like, no, come up. You can't go down that way. And I had hiking shoes. Everyone else had tennis shoes on, which, you know, made it a little, you know, more sketchy. And so I went up around the mountain there because I was like, I have to find an alternative way to get down to this bridge. Because at this point, guys, I could see the bridge and I was so excited. I could only see half of it, but I was like, oh my God, we're here. Here is the beautiful bridge. We're here at the bridge. And I'm just like, get me to it. So I go up around the mountain. I'm trying to find other ways to get down. I mean, it's just so freaking steep everywhere. And it's just, there's nothing to hold on to. It's just down. My friend, he comes up and he's like, you know, this way might be possible. I'm like, I don't think that way's possible, really. And so he's like, let me try it. So he starts going down. I start going down after him, and rocks just start coming down, and it was like hitting him. I was like, oh my God, you know, you go down, I'm gonna stay right here. And everyone else comes up, and I was like, guys, like, don't move. Let's just stay right here, because if we move, stuff's gonna start hitting him, and we just need to stay put. So we did. And he manages, I mean, it takes him a minute. I mean, it takes him a while. He manages to get all the way down. He like yells down. He's like, okay, like, you can come down. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'll do this. I start going down. Fast forward a little bit, I get halfway down, and I'm just in a stuck situation. I'm like, there's just nothing to grab onto, especially after he went down. And that's why I told, like, and I even yelled up at that point. I was like, guys, I don't think anyone's gonna be able to do this, because after he went down, like, he's already, you know, anything that he was holding on to is already down the mountain because it came off. So, you know, it's even harder for me now, for me going down, because I don't have anything to hold on to. And then you imagine, you know, 3 other people coming down. What are they gonna hold on to? Like, there's not even gonna be a side of a mountain by the time they come down. And so I'm like, there's nothing to hold on to. And the whole time, you know, he was telling me to make sure you always have 3 points of contact at all times, because if not, you just slide off, you know, to your death or break something, one. And I'm like, what the heck? And so I'm really stumped. I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out my next move as to how to get down. Like, there's nothing right here for me to grab onto, and I just, you know, you start sliding and you're gone. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. And as I'm trying to debate this, I hear this god awful noise, and I kind of freeze up, and I'm like, what is that? And all my friends just start screaming up top that are waiting for me. They can't see me anymore because it's just like they're up here, they're up here, and I'm like down here. So there's like this little hanger, so you really can't see me down here because they're on the flat part of flatter, not flat, but they're up there, and they're just screaming down at me, telling me to watch out, and they're just screaming that a boulder was coming. And like, are you kidding me right now? And I just, like, at that point, because as I was like going down, I had a few like rocks hit my back, and I was like, man, like I was thinking, I was like, this would be really bad if there was like a big, you know, boulder, you know, big rock that came down and everything, and you just hear this thing coming, you know, picking up its speed and just like coming down. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die right now. I am going to freaking die. I'm gonna be thrown off this mountain. This thing is gonna hit me and throw me off and kill me. And I'm like, I don't know where to go. And I was so afraid to let go of anything because I thought I was just gonna like fall if I let go of anything. And thankfully, there was this rock embedded into the mountain, and the line of path I was in, I was able to just roll over without sliding or anything. And I don't even know what I grabbed onto. I don't even know if I could grab onto anything. I just didn't think, thankfully I didn't slip. But I rolled over to duck behind this rock, and I just put a hand up over my head, and I was like holding on to like whatever I could hold on to. And the thing went past me to the other side of me. And my friend at the bottom, luckily he was down there, so he had time to see it coming, so he could dodge it and everything. But guys, I don't get scared easily, but that was, I mean, it was an eye-opening experience for sure. And everyone was just like, oh my God. I think it was eye-opening for everyone. I mean, it really was, just like seeing that, because it just shows you things like that can happen. It you know, it really can happen. And it's even scarier to think, you know, what if like, I mean, who knows what could have happened, you know, if that were to hit me. You know, who knows what would have happened. I mean, what if it did? And what if, you know, I couldn't walk? Or what if, you know, I was like, you know, broken up super bad, or like was not conscious? Or what if, you know, how no one would be able to save me? Like, how would they save me? How would they get me out of here? Because you can't just run or hike and go. I mean, how would they do this? Like, with all having to climb over these boulders, like, it just would be impossible. And at that point, I'm shaking. I'm just shaking. I'm like, oh my God, I almost just got killed. Like, that is just like what's going through my head. I'm just like, oh my God, I could have just got killed. Oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like just thinking, get me off the mountain. And my friend, he's like, are you okay? Like yelling up, and everyone's like yelling up, like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I want off. I was like, I want out of here. Like, get me out of here. I just like kept saying, like, get me out of here. I'm done with this. And my friend, he ended up having to come back up this way, God, to help coach me back up, because I mean, I was like already struggling with what to grab, and I was like shaking. I was just, you know, I wasn't in a state to be like, all right, let me get myself back up here. And I start crawling back up, and I'm just like, get me off this slope, get me off this slope. And when I finally get to the top, I'm like, my friends are all like, oh my God. And I'm just like, nope, get me off. I'm like, I'm just beelining, like, off of this thing now. And it was something like this. I mean, it's been a week and we're still talking about it, honestly. We're still going on like, remember that? Like, that is just, that happened. Yeah, that happened. I mean, just unreal. I mean, God, it's crazy. Then, yeah, I mean, you can't make this crap up. And it's just one of those things my friends and I were talking about. It's just, don't understand unless they were in the situation, because you know how people exaggerate stuff, but it's like, this is not exaggerated whatsoever. This is what actually happened. And it's just one of those things, you needed to be there, because everyone we were with, they realized the severity of it. They're just like, oh my God. And then everyone we tell it to, they're like, oh my God. But it's like, but imagine it like 10 times worse, because what you're envisioning probably is not that as bad as what actually happened. But we finally get out there. One of my friends ends up like crashing into a rock, falling and busting up his shin, and it's called like a golf ball size. And then these cactuses, guys, they were just like the death of, I don't even know how I got through this whole trip without getting one like spearing me, but everyone got speared with these. And so by the end, I mean, everyone was just so tired climbing back up, so exhausted. And at this point, everyone was out of water. I was the only one that was not out of water, but I didn't want to tell anyone I wasn't out of water, because in my mind, and say I messed up, whatever, I was like, I mean, what good is it going to do if we're all in the same boat, you know, and we all don't have water? Like, obviously I'm not going to let anything happen, you know, we're all not going to be severely dehydrated. Like, one of us needs to be fine. And so I didn't tell anyone I had like half a liter left, and until I saw, like, you know, people really struggling closer to the end, because I was like, we need to like make it as far without, you know, using this as possible. But my friend, he ended up getting like speared in the legs, and it is just, you hear a grown man just screaming with us like trying to take the barbs out, and then one of my friends ended up getting speared underneath his toenails, guys. The barbs went in. I mean, I don't know, just that was, they were just like freaking yelling, trying to pull that junk out. I mean, it was something else. It was crazy. But that hike out, guys, I mean, you honestly, I mean, it was so very much a team effort, because just trying to use our GPS to be like, okay, we need to stay on this, and then we gotta climb, you know, and get the GPS out again, and be like, no, we need to go this way. I mean, it was very much so a team effort. And then just getting down these boulders, because I mean, some of these boulders were just very questionable to get down, and we had to have like we had to do the buddy system, and have like, we'd have like 2 people get down, like somehow one person would get down, and then they would help like the rest of us down, just so we wouldn't like slide off and fall. And it was a team effort for sure. But yeah, it's one of those things where you don't really realize the level of difficulty. And this hike was rated like the top of like the most difficult hikes you can do. And that's why I mentioned my friend at the beginning, because she was in no way in shape to do this. And I just kept telling her, like, I'm so proud of you, because I have so many friends that would just be like, I don't even know, not have her attitude whatsoever. And she kept telling me, she's like, the reason why I'm doing this, and I mean, she was at that point, she was like seeing spots, I mean, just so dehydrated. And everyone else, I didn't realize like how bad everyone was, but she was like, had to keep stopping, and she's like, I'm gonna throw up, she's like, I'm gonna faint, she's like, oh my god, it's so bad. And there was no shade, which made it worse. And one of my other friends, he was like, you know, I need water. And that was like, it came to a point where I'm like, okay, you know, I'm gonna be absolutely fine. I know I'm gonna be fine. So I just ended up giving the rest of my water to everyone, when I knew like we weren't that far off and I would be fine. I would be able to get back, you know, well, okay. But it was an experience, guys. It was an experience. And my advice to anyone going on that trail would be, if you want to take the hardest possible way in, which I will do it again, but I will be mountain biking for sure, because I'll be done in like 2 hours, and I'll be in and out, and it'll be a wonderful thing. Because I think that's like a 2% grade. You're climbing up the whole time. It's just, you get in and out of that. But my advice to anyone that would be going is, you need at least 3 liters of water. You need to have plenty of food. You need to have tons of sunscreen on you. You need to have hiking shoes on you, because if you don't have hiking shoes, these cactuses, they can spear you and go under your shoes, and just, they're so sharp that you need to have that. You need to have an SUV to get back there. I mean, the list goes on. But yeah, those are my main things. You need a first aid kit. You need to have GPS downloaded. You need to have some kind of GPS device on you at all times. You know, external batteries. Just pack for the long haul, like, just to be extra prepared. I had like a, what do you call it, a survivor bracelet on, you know, fire starter. I mean, I was ready for this. But yeah, I mean, one of my friends, I mean, he's done Mount Baldy, you know, just a handful of times. He's like, honestly, he's like, this doesn't have anything on Mount Baldy. Like, this is just new levels. Just the terrain and the desert. It's just, it's not a good mix. But that's my story, guys, and I'm here to tell it. And yeah, you know, it's one of those things that really does, honestly, you know, I feel like things like that happen for a reason. It's to help mold you and to help teach you and to help you realize that things like that can happen, that you need to be more careful and aware of things like that and not think you're some invincible person. But yeah, you know, it all worked out, and that's what I'm truly grateful about. And I was just honestly, I was really feeling pretty lucky, really feeling lucky that day. When we got back to the car, I mean, it was just, we only drove like a short distance. One of my friends, like, he had to run out and he was just puking everywhere because it was just, it put a toll on everyone. But we all got back and I'm here, so yeah. Let me know if you guys have had any near-death experiences, and let me know what happened. And yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up that I'm alive and I'm fine, I'm not like hurt or anything. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.